is taking so long? Seriously? Seriously, that's how I feel some days. I don't feel like that every day, and I don't usually feel like that because usually I'm feeling the progression of life, but there are days, and I know that we all have them, where you just feel like, seriously, I have been studying and practicing law of attraction and spirituality and listening to Abraham and doing all this crap. And I took this guy's course and that one's thing. And then I went on that retreat and I meditate like this for 5 hours a day. And still, I am not where I think I should be at this point in life. And that's the premise of today's live, is the days that you feel like that. I'm pretty sure we can all understand what that feels like, and we've all probably felt that before, and maybe you're feeling it today. I don't know, but hopefully we don't all feel that way all the time. Because the truth is, I'm gonna skip right to the end and then backtrack and do the whole thing. And my dog is just walking around up there, so forgive her. The truth is, I think that we are further along, and I think that on those days that we feel like that, it's just our weird perception, and I'm going to get to why we have that perception in a minute. It's just our weird perception that we're not, and it's false. So let me go through my 3 things, because I've got 3 things as usual. And the first one is I wanted to elaborate more on what we were talking about yesterday in the comments. It wasn't one of my things that I planned, but Robin made a comment that she's distracted and kicking her own butt for that. And like, if only I weren't distracted all the time, then I'd be further along, or whatever it was that if only I weren't so distracted, then I would be something else. I'm saying further along, but I don't think she said that. And I said, what if we saw things like being distracted as this weird trait that you have, weird being that you perceive that other people don't have it and you do, and it's a detriment, but it's not. What if we saw it instead of as being weird or as being a detriment or as being something that we demonize? What if we saw it as something that we embrace and we see it as a strength? How can I turn this thing that I do that drives me nuts sometimes into a strength? And really, it is already a strength. You don't have to turn it into one. All you have to do is change your perception. My dog has been laying down all day long, hasn't moved. I swear to God, has not moved. She's like, "Oh, you ready to do your live? Let me prance around the floor over your head now and just make all this noise," because she was on the couch with my wife, so I didn't put her away and lock her up. I figured, all right, you've been laying there all day. She's like, "I'm done. I'm done now. It's good enough. I need to stretch my legs on the wood floor above your head. That's what I need to do right now." Anyway, that's what's happening. So we're going to have to deal with that. Sorry. What if we accepted that as a gift instead of some weird thing that's driving me nuts all the time? But seriously, being distracted or feeling like you are, whatever it is about you that you feel, if only I weren't this way, I would be further along, or I would have more of what I want, or I wouldn't struggle with this or that so much. I think you are that way on purpose. You created yourself that way so that you could use it as a strength rather than seeing it as a detriment. And instead of trying to figure out, you don't have to figure out, how do I use being distracted as a strength, or whatever your thing is. You just have to ask, how can I? And let the answers show themselves to you. The answers will show themselves to you if you ask and then relax about it and let the answer show. If you're trying to figure it out, let me try this, it's going to be hard. You're not going to find the answers the way that you want to. They'll still be there, but you might not see them. So the first thing, that's number 1, is we demonize our own traits. We demonize the thing that makes us us. The thing that makes you. You look at it and go, "Oh, I hate that." And I do that sometimes. I wonder, if only I had just picked one thing and worked on it the way those other entrepreneurs do, I'd have been a multi-billionaire by now. And the truth is, I would have hated every minute of that. So that's number one. Number two is something that a couple of days or weeks ago I had posted. What do you want to talk about in Daily Fuel? And Deb Flanagan wrote heart brain coherence. And this is something we've talked about before. It comes from for me anyway. I learned about it through Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about that you're emanating a frequency from your heart and you're emanating a frequency from your brain, and the idea is you want them to be in coherence. You want them to be the same, so that when they are the same, and the way he pictured it was this: imagine your body and you have this frequency around you from your heart, right? And that's just your pure source energy. That's just like you. That's just the amazing, perfect version of you is what comes from your heart. And then you got your brain over here who's going, oh man, I got to figure this out myself. Forget source, forget the universe. This thing, I got to figure this out myself. And your brain energy is like, it's all over the place. So you've got this beautiful flowing energy from your heart, and you've got this erratic energy wave all over the place from your brain. And when they are incoherent like that, it makes you weak. It makes you small. It makes you very in your body. And the only answers, the only things that you can figure out to do in the world, in the day, are things that a physical person could do. Well, I need to move this thing. I guess I can lift it with my physical strength and put it over there. That's we're not lifting things, but I need to get somebody to call me, or I need for this thing to happen in the world, or I need to get that thing in the mail today, or whatever. I need that person to love me. Whatever your thing is, suddenly when our heart is doing its wonderful thing and our brain is doing this, we don't have access to the universal answers to get those things to happen. We're not attracting them. We're trying to force them to happen through our physical willpower. Come on and just do what I fucking want you to do. Ow. It doesn't work. Eventually it might work, but because you might just get so exhausted that your brain just settles down and your heart energy just attracts it in. And at that point, you're like, oh my God, that was so hard. Meanwhile, the only thing you were doing was holding it off. And by the time you finally just fell asleep or conked out or something like that, that's when your crappy energy stopped and it came in. And you thought you did it by pounding your fists against the wall. You didn't. You were holding it off. But when your heart is doing this, and you're doing your energy work like we talked about yesterday, and your brain is doing this, well, now suddenly, as Dr. Joe described it, you've got like these two energy fields around you that are in coherence. They're going and flowing together. And when that happens, they're not tight to the body anymore. They're spreading out farther away from the body. Sorry, my phone just made a noise. They're spreading out farther away from the body, and they're stretching out. He says that they've been able to measure this, and I believe that, but I'm not getting into the sciencey, measurement parts of it. I just want to talk about the spiritual part. What's happening now is when you've got two frequencies that are together and working together, they amplify each other and they grow together and they reach out further. And that's when we have access to all that stuff outside of our bodies. We no longer have to figure out how to do it. We just are. It's just all of a sudden it's like, wow, that thing happened, and there's that thing, and I didn't even think of that thing, and there it is. And that's what happens. We become stronger, and the bigger things start happening, and we feel big and strong. And so that's what heart-brain coherence is, and the way to do that is to practice your energy work. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch yesterday's Daily Fuel. That's how you get your heart and brain into coherence. And the third one is where I kind of started, is that I really do believe we are constantly getting further along. We are getting more and closer and closer and closer to the things that we want. It's just that as we get to new plateaus, we want more things. And as we get to new plateaus, we forget that there's a thing that we have in our life that at one point we really, really wanted. Or if we didn't have that thing now, we'd be focused on not having it, but because we have it, we just take it for granted. Our friend Sarah commented on my post earlier today that she had a vision board that she started in 2016, and things are happening for her with it, and she went to different countries that she wanted to go to, and she met her husband. She got married. Well, you know what? I said husband. I'm assuming. Maybe she has a wife. I don't know. But she got married, and is what she said. And things that she wanted, things that she had put on her vision board and things that she wanted have come to fruition in her life. And I'm looking at her things and I'm thinking to myself, there are things that I would have on my vision board if I didn't have, but I wouldn't have on my vision board because if I had a vision board, because I already have them. Like, I wouldn't put a beautiful wife for myself on a vision board because I have one, and she's right upstairs and she's making dinner. And it's like, so I'm never sitting here going like, why can't I find love? Because I have this wife and I have this family and I have these children. And I realize sometimes that if I were making a list of the things that I want in my life and have already, then that list would be so vast compared to the list of things that I want in my life and don't have already. That list is like this big, and I know the 5 things on them, and I'm constantly looking at them going, but the list of things that I want in my life and I already have, that list is like, and it just grows and grows and grows, and sometimes things get added to that list that now that I have them, I didn't even realize that I wanted them, So the list of good things far outweighs the list of bad things. But on those days where we feel like, what the fuck is taking so long? Those are the days that all we're doing is looking at that list of things we're lacking. We're just looking at that and going like, I don't understand this. I've been practicing this for 1,000 years and still I don't have that thing. We're funny that way. And maybe that's a trait that we have and we have to just use it as a strength. But really, the trick is to look at the list of things that you do have and appreciate them more. And that will ease you up. That will give you the heart-brain coherence that you want. And those things on the list of things that are lacking, they'll ease up and they'll come in too. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but they will. Okay, whew. I'm going to take a drink of water and I'm going to go through the comments and I'm going to read these and say hello to everybody. Alrighty then, and Nathan I said, and Robin I said, and Peter is here. Hello, LOL, LOL. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Sup, Bobby. He's laughing again. A foot of snow, cold, and a pain in the arse to shovel. Oh, you got a foot of snow? Oh, yeah. Well, you're in Canada, right? I don't know what the weather is up there, but I know you probably have snow, so that makes sense. Peter says, "That's me, still." I don't know what I said. I was like, oh, I still don't have that. Is that what I'm saying? Yes. Okay, that's you. It's all of us, really. And that's the other thing is when we're feeling that way, we feel like losers. When I feel that way, I feel like, what is wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong with me, and there's nothing wrong with you. That's the point. Is that we all have this list of wonderful things in our lives and this list of things that we really, really want, but we're constantly looking at this list, going like, where are you? There's nothing wrong with you, and there you'll always have this list too. You'll never be a time when you're like, I have everything, and there's nothing that I want, because once you're at that point, now you may as well just be dead and source energy and get out of here. The reason we're here is to be sifting through and getting this stuff. Hi, Bobby and all. Now, this is the correct way to greet me on Daily Fuel. You say hello to me and then everybody else. That's the correct way. Thank you, Kirsten. Hello. Nice to see you. Clink, clink, clink. That was from yesterday. Low density waves are bombarding us. Are they? Okay. That's fine. I don't know about that, but I know a lot of people. I'm not a proponent of things outside of me affecting me. but I know a lot of people are. And so I don't know that I'm right and you're wrong, so I'm not saying that. I just know that I don't really pay much attention to those things. Like when people say like Mercury's in retrograde or something like that, I'm just like, okay, it could be. I don't know. I know what it means scientifically. It just means our planets are spinning around the sun at different places, and if we looked at it, it would look like it was going backwards. But it's not, because it's just we're passing it. That's all. But does that affect us spiritually? Maybe. I don't know, and I don't subscribe to it being like, I'm not constantly thinking like, oh no, it's going backwards and that means my life is going to get fucked up. I just go like, I'm having one of those days and somebody says it's in retrograde and I just go, okay, that's maybe. I don't know. Are there low density waves bombarding us? Maybe. But I think that if we were doing our energy work, we would just be immune to them. That's what I think. Robin says, I have done nothing. That was on my to-do list for today. What the heck? Kathy. Robin, sometimes we just don't get things done, and you got to be okay with that also. You have to be a descendant of the Nephilim to get ahead. Glad I got a soul. I don't know what that is either, but I'm kind of following you, but I don't know I don't know what that is. Sorry. Amy, it's the dog's time to go alive. Yeah, she's a good dog. Nathan, the greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. Yeah, whose quote is that? I see you wrote that in quotes. I like the quote from Mark Twain where he said, I'm gonna mess this up. I don't know the exact quote, and I always paraphrase it, and then I always get halfway through it, and I was like, no, wait, that's not how he said it. I've suffered through so many things in my life, something like this, right? I've suffered through so many, countless horrors in my life, and some of them actually happened, meaning that they were all in his head. He would suffer through things and worry about things that actually never happened. And some of them happened, but most of them did not, and yet he suffered just the same. And that's the point. And what Nathan is saying there is that there's nobody judging you except you. Nobody's looking at me going like, how come you don't have those things that are on your bad list yet? We've had them checked. We've had them on our list over here, and I noticed that I still am not able to check it off for you. Nobody gives a shit about my list. You know what I mean? Then there's nobody judging me except me, and I don't have to, and neither do you. Donna says, "Morning, everybody, especially Bobby." There you go. That's the correct way. Thank you very much. I was supposed to go out and get back my external drive after a whole month. Go out and rake leaves today. Did you get your external drive? I'm not saying if you didn't get to you didn't get to go outside, or you didn't get to rake leaves, or you didn't get your external drives. Did you do none of those things, or just none of those things? No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Yeah, well, yeah, there you go, right? As big as the tree is that you see, the roots have to be as equally large to hold it up. This is the truth. Expound. What did I say? That's a good word. Today, because tomorrow will be cold, and today is warm, and pay my car registration so I can be legal. But no, nope, not done. What are you gonna do, Robin? You'll have more warm days. Tomorrow might be cold, but the day after that will be warm. Maybe, I don't know. Where do you live? So, meaning manifests itself so that you can retool being itself on a continual basis while simultaneously minimizing the risk of total collapse in morality. Then becomes the act of paying sufficient attention and reacting sufficiently so that that corrective process occurs. I love how you typed that whole thing with capital words. That's interesting to me. That seems so difficult to do. Meaning manifests itself so you can reach to being itself on a continual basis while simultaneously minimizing the risk of total collapse morality. Then become the act of paying sufficient attention, reacting sufficiently so that I can't follow that sentence. I get lost halfway through it. I'm feeling the energy of it. I don't know exactly what it means, though. I'm going to move on. I'm sorry. Can you show us what the brain is doing again? It's doing that, right? It's like your heart. It's like, It's like a nice, beautiful day, and your brain is just going, what the fuck is going on here? So that's what your brain is doing. Yeah, you made me do that, didn't you? Because I finally found out how to do something I wanted to do for ages, so I did it. That's why you didn't go outside? Well, then there you go. See, you're not distracted. You finally figured out how to do something you wanted to do for ages. That's your gift, is you figured it out. But what are you doing? Instead of starting there, wow, guys, guess what? I finally figured out how to do something that I've wanted to do for ages. What an amazing day. You say, oh my God, I didn't do any of the things I wanted to do today. I did I wanted to rake the leaves. Have you wanted to rake the leaves and get your car registration for ages? Or did you want to do this other thing for ages? It's a gift. Accept it and love it. Instead, you're going, oh, but it's Christmas morning and I opened up all my gifts, but I forgot to, I don't know what. Forgot to do some other thing. And then you're kicking your butt about it instead of being so happy that it's Christmas morning. You know? If you don't celebrate Christmas, I'm sure you can understand how amazing Christmas morning is. So, that all day. Word. I love number 2. I'm going to do this. I've never heard of this. Heart-brain coherence. Yeah, I've done lives on that before. You can find them on the YouTube channel, probably. I'm not sure what they're called, but I have done lives on that before. Peter, as we listen to ourselves, that's why I said doing art and music was a good vehicle, avenue, way to bring coherence into action. Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about yesterday is that when you're doing your art or your music or whatever, and you get into that zone, that being in the zone is heart-brain coherence. It's just another word for it. Being in that meditative state, that's heart-brain coherence. Being in the pocket, in the zone, in the flow state is heart-brain coherence. Being in worry, in stress, is heart-brain incoherence. So that's how you know which one you're in, you know? If you're stressed out that you're not in heart-brain coherence and you're not sure, well, you're not. If you are in heart-brain coherence, you're not thinking about it. You're not wondering if you are. You're not thinking about your list of crap that's missing. You're just feeling the flow state. That's all. You don't have to think about this stuff. Just go draw or write or sing or dance or whatever you do. Or meditate or walk. Tragedy should be utilized as a source of strength. It can be. Sure it can. There's always sometimes it always feels like crap in the beginning, but we always learn from it and grow from it, of course. I'm gonna just agree with you there on that one. Breathe. Thank you. I'm also gonna take a sip of water. Hang on. Breathe. Immune to the bombarding due to energy work. 100%. I think so. I think that we are our own microcosmic universe right here. We are the universe. Each one of us. I am the universe, all within my own body, and there's nothing outside that's going to mess me up. All the messing up in the world comes from here. It all comes from within me. The heart is, to me, I like to think of it this way, that the heart is just perfect. It's the perfect source energy version of me. That's the heart. And the brain is where I'm doing all this weird thinking, where I'm kicking my butt for not being perfect. I'm worried about this thing possibly happening, or that it did happen, or any of these kinds of things. And that's what's causing the heart is doing this and the brain is doing this. You want them both going together. You want, as often as possible. And by the way, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again because it's important. You don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to make sure that they're going together all the time. You just want to make sure that they're going together more than they're not. So you already got all the time you're sleeping, You don't have to worry about it. That you're not messing anything up when you're sleeping. And if you wake up in the morning, like we said yesterday, and you start thinking about how to get into the flow state and start thinking about the wonderful parts of your life, well, now you're setting yourself up to be in the flow state more often throughout the day. Rothschilds is one of the supposed families that are the descendants of the Nephilim. Oh, okay. I don't really know a lot about those things. I know what you're talking about, but I don't really get into that stuff. But I know what you mean. Jason, hey, I can see you today. Nice to see you. Hi, Bobby and everyone. There you go. See, now, is that hard? Is that hard? That's the way you do it. In person as well, by the way, I would appreciate. I always wonder if there are people who like join this group, watch one of these lives, and see me say something like that and be like, what an arrogant ass, and leave the group. That would just be funny if they thought that I was really that, up my own butt. Hi, Bobby and everyone. Mark Twain said, I've experienced a great deal of pain and suffering in my life, most of which has never happened. There you go. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Jason's got my back. That's a cool... That's a cool quote, and I will forget it and paraphrase it again incorrectly, because that's just what I do. Donna says, the future is warm, Robin. You will get it done when you get it done. There you go. And Robin says, I like how Nathan typed his whole thing without it being split up into accidental pieces. He even had a comma or two in there. Kelly, sometimes I have to consider the part about us all being interconnected. That's sometimes, hang on, I looked at something else and I got confused. Sometimes I have to consider the part about us all being interconnected. That sometimes the reason something takes so long is because your manifestation might be wrapped up with 7 other people's blessings and lessons, and the universe is working all the things out for all of us at all times. That's interesting. Lots of puzzle pieces to click into place, all in perfect timing. You know what? Let me think about that for a second, because I like where you're going with that. That, all right, there's stuff that I want, and the universe knows that stuff that I want, the best way for me to get it is through this interaction with these other people, but they're not ready yet. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Okay. I wonder sometimes, here's a question I've posed to myself. Just, would I rather have this thing in this version now? I got something, and it's, it's dinky, but at least I got it. I didn't have anything, now I got this. But I got it now. Or would I rather wait a little while and get this version of it, with the implication being that bigger is better. But, it doesn't have to be a larger thing. It could just be like, would you rather have this okay version, or would you rather have this amazing version? But the amazing version comes later, and the okay version you can have right now, I heard Abraham say this to somebody once years ago. I remember, and this video stuck out in my head, where somebody was talking about trying to manifest a house, and Abraham said, would you rather have these are my words, some dinky house now, or the house of your dreams later? And the person was like, oh, I'd rather wait till later and get the house of my dreams. And Abraham was like, so then what's the rush? Seriously, what are you rushing about? If you are willing to wait for something even better, then why are you rushing to get anything now? And that logic just makes you go, what am I rushing about? And I think what it is, it's not that I need this thing right now. It's that I am perceiving myself as some kind of failure because I haven't gotten it yet. And I've been doing this so long, right? And what Kelly is saying is that things are playing out in perfect synchronization with other people, with other places, with, all the stuff is coming along. And if I would just calm the fuck down, it could come faster, because the universe could just snap its fingers and all the pieces would just fall into place. The only thing, it's not that the universe is like, give me time, I need time to put this stuff together. No, the universe can do it like that. It's me. It's me. And for you, it's you. I'm not doing it to you. I'm doing it to me. You're doing it to you. We get in our own way. So be okay with the fact that the universe is putting the pieces together. Oh, this is going to be great. When this thing happens, it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to love it, and it's going to happen in a way that I could have never imagined. But I forget to think that way sometimes. I just go, I want it. Oh, okay. I do know what number 2 is. You just use posh words to disguise it. Yeah, you know what that is. You gotta stop saying number 2, because I just start giggling. Donna knows what number 2 is. Nathan, grow so strong on the inside that nothing on the outside has a chance to stop you. There you go. And you know what? Let's play with that one for a minute. Because the truth is, nothing on the outside does have the opportunity or the ability to stop you. But we look at things on the outside and go, that's too hard. And we stop ourselves from the inside, but we perceive it as the outside thing stopped us. That's a really great line there, Nathan. And also, thanks for not capitalizing all the words. Yeah, I like that. Thanks. That's really, really great. Bam, says Robin. Together for good. What did I say? I don't know what I said. Robin says, wow, to Kelly. Kelly, we can fuck ourselves up casting spells and manifesting with a set time frame because we might get the shitty or rushed version if we demand it right now. Yeah. That's true. The other thing I think is that sometimes, I don't know if this is the exact way to say it, but it's the way I feel about it, is that sometimes I want something right now, and because of that, I get focused on this one particular way that I see it coming, and I feel that when I do that, what I'm doing is I'm basically saying to the universe, I want it now, I want it this one specific way. And I don't even tell me that you can give me something twice as good a different way tomorrow. I don't want to know that. I want it this way from that path, and that's it. You know? And then and it's like I'm shutting down all the other avenues that it could possibly come to me from because it's got to be this one. The universe is like, all right, whatever. You're going to wait. Yes, exactly. Hey, Bobby. I don't know who that is. You know what? Oh, God. I don't even know how far I have to go. Who is this? Oh, I'm not that far. Hey, Bobby. It's Vic. Vic! Can you click the link? Hi, Vic. How you doing? Nice to see you. Robin, it's kind of biblical with the notion that God is weaving with everyone and some of our things cross. Okay, with it's weaving with everyone, and some of our things cross. Okay, it's not you, it's me. I'm getting to the end of my day, and I can feel that I'm getting tired. The ultimate basis for the activity of cognition is given by the will. See, like I'm already reading this going like it's going in one ear and out the other. The ultimate basis for the activity of cognition is given by the will. The foundations of cognition must be discovered by observation or analysis of experience. Like we understand things because we have experienced them or observed them. Is that what you're saying? I agree with that. Number 3. See, this is my kind of comment right now. This I could just get. You guys are being a little too cerebral for me tonight. Good to see you, Kelly. There you go. Here we go. Wow. Kelly's comment just rang a bell. A lot of my day, and quite often days and parts of my day, like many has to do with other people that I talk to, answer, send our messages with each other, which is important to me and probably has a good deal to do with what's meant for me in the universe. So I probably accomplished more than I may have thought. Yeah, you know, we do. We again, Robin, you might have had on your list this one thing to do and then did all these other things which are equally important, plus this one thing you've wanted to do for so long. And then at the end of the day, you just go, oh, I forgot to do that thing. God, I suck. What's the point of that? There's no point. It's not a good thing. Large boobs, go cook the chicken. Yeah, I gotta actually it's salmon tonight, but yes. Good word. Have you checked the children? One of my children is in the city. She's at school. The other one is upstate. They're fine. Um, what happened that day? I forgot. What did I forget to do? I forgot to make them dinner or something? I don't know. But don't give up. No, we never give up. No, there's no giving up. And remember from yesterday, tomorrow's another day. That's all. Tomorrow is another day. We could start again. Well, guys, thank you very much for your time and attention, and for messing up my brain today with your comments that I couldn't understand. I'm gonna read them again later and be like, oh, what? I get to that now. Amy says, I think that all the different things I'm doing and working on, like my craft stuff, my emotional growth, and forming groups of friendships, are building up at their own rates and will come together in time to make everything more epic and make sense when it all fits together. Trying to push too hard in one area might unbalance the outcome, so I'm trying to let each area progress as it does. Yeah, you're working on a lot of things, and you don't want to push one thing at the expense of the other things. I think that's smart. And Peter, very good. Peter, you get the booby prize today. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night or day if you're Donna. And sorry, I get confusing. No, most of the time I'm right with you guys on your comments, but every once in a while I get these like brain fogs where I'm just like reading them and the words are just sifting through my head, and I'm just like, why I can't read it and get the thoughts that I want to get from it. I know what you're saying. I just don't have I just can't articulate a response other than going, okay, cool, and I move on. And I don't like doing that. I like saying something about what you say. So no need to get sorry, and now you get the booby prize because you're the last comment. All right, guys, that's it. I've said goodbye, so I'm just going to click bye. Bye.